Okay, Asik, like what we have reported, you have a number of senators apprehensive to ratify our membership to the trade deal. What do we stand to lose here? Should we fail to keep in step with the members of the trade bloc, or should we decide to join sequentially later on?
Well, it's very important that we act on it now because not only that it will be too costly for the Philippines, but we will be missing a lot of opportunities. We have to remember that almost all sectors, business organizations, industry associations, and even foreign chambers are supportive of our participation in RCEP. And the only concern raised is the agri-concerns brought about for consideration by our senators. And if you will look at it, this is more focused on the fear of trade liberalization, the lack of consultation, and concerns on certain safety nets. But we have already clarified to the senators that if the issue is on trade liberalization, particularly on agriculture, basically we are already in an open market for trade and investment. We have been trading already with these RCEP parties. And in this agreement, the RCEP agreement, we have only offered technically 33 agricultural tariff lines. And that only accounts to 1.9% of the total agricultural tariff lines and 0.8% of our total imports. But if you will have to compare that to the huge benefits that we will realize from joining this agreement, I mean, the advantages are tremendous. So we're talking here of investment, services, intellectual property, competition, among others.
Okay, sir, can you highlight po or explain to our viewers here why, despite all of these things that you've said, there is still a pushback from the agriculture sector in particular, and there is still senators that are just not convinced despite all of these, let's say, concessions and revisions on these 30-plus lines?
Well, there are certain concerns that we have raised to the senators, such as, for example, the issue on smuggling, which we submit that this is more of governance issue. These are internal matters that we here in the Philippines, particularly the executive branch, with or without RCEP, we really have to intensify our efforts to curb smuggling. It's a given. Also, there are issues on programs and assistance that should be given to concerned sectors, including the agricultural sector. Again, our submission is that with or without RCEP, we really have to do our part. We have to work together. We really have to intensify our programs, policies, and projects that supports the competitiveness of our sectors, particularly the agricultural sector. So, in other words, what we are saying is that we have to detach issues that are not related to the merits of the RCEP agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to that, Asek, no? Is it just a matter of timing, which means that we need to first strengthen our agriculture sector internally, domestically, before we can start competing with the giants, as they call it? I think there's an elephant, which is China. We are the ant. Before we can even get to that point, I mean, no one's arguing that trade is good and beneficial in the future, but maybe not right now.
Well, you are correct. Timing is very important, and the timing is now. As I mentioned, we're already in an open economy. We're open already when it comes to trade and investments. All FTAs with ASEAN and ASEAN free trade partners are already there. Here in RCEP, we have enhanced more rules to simplify our business activities and also trading with these trading partners. So we have to seize and grab all these opportunities because the way we see it, we will be sending a wrong signal if we will not join RCEP. Because recently we just introduced major economic reforms, such as amendments to Public Service Act, Foreign Investment Act, and the Retail Trade Liberalization. So you can just imagine, we are sending confusing signals if on the FTA side, we will not be joining RCEP.
Assistant Gepty, very quickly now, I mean, the President has ratified our membership. as early as September last year. This has been languishing in the Senate for months. What have you done to assure the agriculture sector that they will not be compromised? I mean, we're just down to a few days left here for the Senate. What have you done during the period over the past few months to at least assure them that they will not be compromised?
There were many hearings and engagement made, not only with our agriculture sectors, but also other officials. Number two, we have been clarifying that as far as exposure of the agriculture sector is concerned, under RCEP, we have only offered 33 agri-tariff lines, and the trade is very insignificant. And number three is that if the concern is on safety nets, we have thoroughly explained to them that under RCEP, we have even provided more trade remedies as compared to existing WTO agreements because we have maintained these trade remedies in WTO, plus we have added RCEP transitional safeguards, not to mention the modification of concession and other flexibilities in the agreement. So they are all aware of this.
Now, of course, what happens now should RCEP not be ratified by the Congress? How optimistic are you that the next Congress, the 18th Congress, is going to give this a go when incoming President Marcos Jr. himself somehow is quite doubtful on this one, in fact, urging a review of the trade deal?
Well, the good thing is that I think there is no question as to the merits of the agreement. In the Senate yesterday, even Senator Pangilinan recognized the value and importance of RCEP, particularly in the sectors of services, investment, manufacturing, among others. So I think everyone is also in the same spectrum. So that's why what we are saying to our senators right now is that if it is a question of timing, I think the perfect timing is now, so that when we embark on the new administration and we work towards economic recovery, all our efforts are already synchronized.